Hey Floss Tube, it's Rebecca, the Route 66 Stitcher. This is a channel mainly about cross stitch. If you're new here, if you're not new here, thank you for coming back. I do appreciate all of your comments and your likes. It really does make a difference and help keep moving me along. This is actually a Floss Tube number 12, and it is my Floss Tube Anniversary, 1 year. 1 year. So I'm a little belated on that, but I finally pulled around long enough to figure out, yeah, it's been a year. So I am going to have a little giveaway a little later on. So stay tuned for that. Just as kind of a thank you for everybody that's been there supporting me as we move through this process. So I really do appreciate it. It is a very blustery day here in rural southwest Missouri, and weather has been crazy, just like it has for most of the United States. We've gone from a negative 24 degrees with ice storms and snow to up to 70 degrees today. So just within literally a 4-day period, it's just been crazy. I hope everybody's staying healthy and safe out there. I know travel conditions have been absolutely brutal for people this past week. So hopefully everybody's safe, healthy, and is having a restful holiday break if you celebrate, or just having a peaceful time in your life if you don't celebrate the holidays. So without any further ado, let's get to the stitching that I thought I did going into it. I am in a different setting, so it's going to be a little awkward. My office is a complete disaster, so I am out on the catio right now, and because it is the cat's room, you will probably see one or both of them moving forward. I have some full finishes. I finished, this is one of the round robins from Galleria, and this is Bonny Bee, and it's a little pillow, and I finished it on this block of books. There we go. And this is Bonny Bee, and it was one of the round robins. This block of books I actually got at the, I think it was $5 originally at Walmart, and they're like little dollar section, whoop, upside down, and came with the leaves and the twine and the titles, and it was on sale 75% off the week after Thanksgiving. So finished that. I have also have a complete finish, fully finish on my Bat Kit Crazy kit from Val Stuff. And I had the green set, and I chose just Batty. And he turned out super cute as he flies by. I don't have the hanger in these yet, but I'm gonna make a little garland of them. This one is just Batty. There's also Bite Me and Going Batty. All three patterns are in the kit, although you only get the felt balls and the buttons for one bat. So I'm going to stitch up the other two. I also used Helen D's, the East Coast Crafter, tutorial on how to make the bats, and I made one with fabric wings as well. So I'm going to do a couple more in fabric, stitch up the other two of this, and make a garland for Halloween. I also found a little itty bitty one. It's called Boo at You, and these are the babies of these, and it also comes with a couple patterns. It's on perforated paper, and make a couple of those to go in my bat family for Halloween. So those are what I have completely finished. Excuse me. Thank you. I have other finishes within this time frame that are not full finishes, but they are completely stitched. And the first one is Kelson's what why, and I took the why cat and I used the what terminology, and I finished what why. There you go. And this is on a Mystic Fabrics, I want to say it was a linen bit bag, grab bag, kind of Black Friday kind of thing for the fabric. And that's, of course, 500 million strains of DMC 310. And I want to say thank you to Trina Bell, who was part of my stitching group for the Jingle Ball, who suggested that I finish this as a project bag, and now I can't see it as anything other than a project bag, and of course it's going to take me 10 years to find the right fabric to finish that with. So that's why what. I also participated in Stiachalong, like I do every time Stiachalong is put out there. My finish was frog and redo. If first you don't succeed, frog and redo with Kermit. This is a overdyed thread. I'll talk about the thread a little later on. But basically, because of the variegation, he looks more like a lizard than a frog. And I've decided that he has frog herpes. And I'm okay with the frog having herpes. I'm okay with that a lot. So that's my Stiachalong finish. I didn't do any of the stitching groups this year because I didn't have time to meet any of the deadlines for any of the contests, so didn't do that. But I always like what Em and Matt put out for Stiachalong. I have also finished this week my 2022 Peppermint Purple Blackwork SAL, the free SAL that Claire does every single year. And this matches the ones that I have done past 2 previous years. And I have, oops, sorry, a cat on my lap that's making this harder than it needs to be. Already outlined the 2023 Blackwork SAL. So looking forward to starting that. And before I forget, Mystic Fabrics grab bag. And these are both Luganas. And they're both opalescents. And I usually do a opalescent grab bag every year from her on the Black Fridays. And then I finally finished. I searched for an Ancestor. And she turned out really well. Her little necklace. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with her yet. And again, this is a Mystics fabric. This is also, this is a 32 count linen, and it is also an opalescent, and it is none of the called for. It's from Laurel Daub, none of the called for, and she is officially done. I have no idea what I'm going to do with her. I left off the big border that goes around her and all the stars. I figure up close and in person, you can see some of the shine from that opalescent. I figure she doesn't need all those stars stitched in because she's got a lot of shine without having to stitch that in. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the kissies. So those are my finishes. I do have WIPS. Hi. Yes, thank you. This is my, if the shoe fits, it's a punch needle. And Since I'm not filling in the background, I don't like how the words read. They're too heavy and not distinguishable enough as what that is supposed to say. So I'm going to pull all of that out, and I'm going to actually go back in there with maybe a chain stitch or stem stitch to do the letters, maybe a raised satin for the shoes, and then everything else a little bit more delicate so you can actually read it. But this is done. This is on weaver's cloth. This is hand dyed. This is called Stone from the Bonny Bee. And this is, if the shoe fits, out a punch needle and primitive stitcher. I'll put the information below. I don't remember the name of the designer right off the top of my head, but this was the fall edition of this past year, 2022. So she's still a WIP, not finished, because I'm going to go back and redo that. And then I have been working on the Blue Flower, a Greyhound Year, and I am doing the Blue Flower, the Greyhound Year, in not in the entire calendar in one piece like this. I'm doing it individually so I can put out one of these per month. And I have January done, and this is on a 25 count Stormy Clouds Lugana that I got from 123 Stitch. And there's January. I'm not using any of the called for. My Greyhound, my last Greyhound, Seamus, was a black Greyhound with a kind of a gray-white muzzle and little chest area, and a little bit of white on the tip of his tail. And so that's what I've done here. And using his January pajamas, I've got a snowflake button that I'm going to put up here instead of stitching one. And I've done also on this same fabric July. So July is done as well on this same fabric. I purchased from Spoonflower the finishing fabric for these that I'm going to do for the finish, which is cute little greyhounds napping. And this is on Spoonflower. And if you're interested in that pattern, I will also put the information for this down in the information box below. So 2 down, 10 more to go. I did have a Christmas start, which is something, I don't know if you can hear her purring. She's quite loud. Christmas start, it's something I've been planning to do for a while, and that is Santa Quill. And I got page 1 done. Page 1 of 6 I got completed, and it's got my major award needle minder, of course, because it's a Christmas start. And this is on a 40 count Mystic Fabrics, and this particular color is one she has all the time, and it's called Be More Pacific. So this is Santa Quill. 1 page down, 5 more pages to go of 5 million more 310s. And a lot of white, too. So that's going to be ongoing. I hope to get that done by next Christmas, but you never know. And then something I've been wanting to start for a long time is the Blackwork Highland Coup by Doodlecraft. I don't know why I keep going. Doodlecraft, and this is a Blackwork, and I am using all the called for DMC with the exception of the brown, and that is because I'm doing it on this fabric. And so I have one of the horns done and starting into the belly of the beast, so to speak. And this is on Atomic Ranch 28 count nutmeg. And this fabric is fantastic. And it actually is picking up a lot of the, it'll look like a cow color when it's done. And I really want to thank, I went to the Silver Needle, and it wasn't Lindy and it wasn't Mona. I can't remember the name of the individual that chose this fabric for this pattern and basically said, this is what you're going to do. And they were absolutely correct. So I'm using all the called for DMC in this, with the exception of that brown. The brown was supposed to be 898, which is a medium golden brown, which just blended right in. So I went with 3371, which is just a darker, cooler color to get some definition there. The horn was easy. It's a really easy, loose pattern. That orange is a lot more complicated and has a lot more definition to it. And stitching on these darker fabric, it's going to take longer because I have to go slower and actually count every single thread. So this one's going to take a while, and that's Doodlecraft on the cow. So those are my WIPS plans. I really don't do well at this floss tube thing because I'm not somebody that makes plans. I can't tell you what I'm going to stitch tonight, let alone when I want to stitch next June. So the only plans that I have are for some reason I thought that this was something I wanted to do, and that was to do a chatelaine. And I am doing a water garden winter. I'll put the picture up there or there or there somewhere. And I have kitted it up over the past couple months, and I'm going to be doing it on this fabric, which is a really light mottled grayish blue called Vapors. And this is also by Atomic Ranch. I really like their fabrics. I really do. So this is going to be the base. I was able to, interestingly enough, I found the Gloriana very easily. Very readily available at some of the needlework shops that I looked for it online. So I have the Glorianas. I have literally 5 billion DMCs that is just a hot mess right now that I need to get sorted out and get ready to go for New Year's start. And then I haven't even taken this out of the package yet. I purchased the bead and the other specialty fibers from European Cross Stitch, and this just came so nicely packaged and wrapped that I don't even want to open it. Because if I open it, it means it's real. And I've never worked on a piece of fabric this big before, and I really don't. I think that's the most daunting thing. The specialty stitches are why I wanted to do a chatelaine. I really want to learn how to do some of those. Probably could have chosen something smaller than a chatelaine to start learning those stitches. But it seemed like a good idea at the time. And so that is the only plan that I have. Other than finishing up some of these WIPs. I do have, of course, my Silk of the Month Club from Fiberlicious, Yummy Fibers. And this is December. I already put away October and November, so they are what they are. I also purchased, I really like getting the nudies from Cottage Garden Threads the last time that I purchased them. And they're 30 skeins of Cottage Garden Threads for, I think it was $61. And that included the shipping. So it's $2 per skein. And they're called nudies because they don't come with any name associated with them. They're just random shorts that they have. They're full skeins of floss, but they call them seconds or overruns or overdyes or something. I have no idea what's wrong with them. I like them. I like the way they stitch. They stitch very, they spread easily. They give a lot of good coverage. This was actually, I tried this let me find some white. This with Kermit. So this particular color right here was the frog herpes. So there you go, frog herpes. And I really like stitching with those. So I got those, and this time I got what they call a mix kit, which is 30 skeins, but it's 10 of the stranded cotton, 10 of the 8 pearl, and this actually is the pearl, the 8 pearl that goes with the Cottage Garden thread pack that came out with the autumn Stitch the Rainbow. So I have, it's a relatively new color line for them, and so I got those, and then it came with 10 of the Pearl 12s as well. And so I really am going to like using these. There's a lot of mix and match in these colors to where I'm going to be able to do some really nice ornaments, hard hanger ornaments for Christmas, which is going to be fantastic. So I'm really excited about those. And they're a really good deal if you ever really wanted to try Cottage Garden threads. I know 30 is a lot of skeins, but if you, not like they're going to go bad unless you keep them for 50 years or more. So I also managed to score somehow or another. I don't even know how. 36 count linen in rosemary from Fox and Rabbit, and this is not one of their normal colors. I don't know if this is a new color for them or if this was one of their Patreon colors that is different. I don't know, but it is a gorgeous, it's not really reading. It's a little green, gray, brown, subtle background. It's a beautiful neutral, and it smells like rosemary, but that could just be me wanting it to smell like rosemary. So there you go. So I scored that off the interwebs. Oops, I don't need that floss on the ground because that'll go in a belly somewheres. And then while I was over at the Silver Needle, I do like going over there. I had to go to Tulsa for something for work anyway, so never miss the opportunity to stop in to see Lindy and all of her fabulous people. And while I was there, I picked up, because I really do enjoy stitching those little stack pillows kind of things, I picked up the Rack Stack by Plum Street Samplers, and this is from 2019. And she's so cute. So I picked that up. Plum Street Samplers is one of the designers that does not do PDFs, so have to pick up the sampler paper ones, and I picked up Raccoon Rabble, which I give a lot of credit to Paulette for not calling those trash pandas. So that's cute. So Halloween or fall, Christmas, and then I picked up her brand new one called Cardinal Kin as well. And it's Cardinal Kin 1 and 2, and 1 and 2, the only difference is in the color of the cardinals. 1 is with the very bright male, and 2 is with a much darker male, and you get thread color conversions for both those profiles, colorways. So I picked those up because I really did enjoy doing the Corgi Caboodle and the Bigfoot Bunch and all of those. And then I picked up something I've been seeing around for quite some time, and then I found out it's from 208, so yeah, it's been around for quite some time. And that is La-Di-Da, Something Wicked, This Way Comes. And I figured this was going to be really, really nice on, it's from Stuffs, Fabrics by Stuff, The name of it is Gingerbread, and I think that's going to be fantastic on that. So I picked that up while I was there. They also had a clearance section, so I picked up Judy Whitman, French Country Fruit, Cherries and Raisin, Grapes, Cherries and Grapes, excuse me. So, I don't know, I'll do something with those. And then I picked up, I had a great time, by the way. I picked up all that fabric for the cow and the chatelaine, and just kind of went wild. I'd been there a long time. And then I picked up, I've never done a Mill Hill kit. So I picked up one, and it's the Advent Trilogy, and this is set 1. And I really like the patterns in set 2, but they were sold out of set 2. And I need to remind myself that I need to actually check for set 2 probably, I don't know, June, July, when they may be back in stock. So I'm going to try those because I've never done that before. And like I said, I went to the Jingle Ball. I had a fantastic time. I paid my $10 with zero expectations at all. Zero expectations. I loved every minute of it. I had a great time at the designers' meet and greets. Had a fantastic stitching group. We were the ones that would not leave. I think Lindy, Steph called us the diehards. We kept that Zoom room going, that stitching group going until Monday evening late. So it was, so we were in there from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I couldn't believe I got home from work on Monday, and there were people still in there keeping that room open and going. I purchased a lot of PDFs. I purchased some of the exclusives from Hands-On Design and the Blue Flower and Lindy Stitches and Tiny Modernist, the Santa Sal that she did. So I did purchase quite a bit, and then I went back and I ordered Spooky Book from Lindy Stitches, which I'd been wanting for quite some time, and I really want to do the Goth Chicken and the Grave Fellows. Kind of interested in these shiny things too. My ADHD, I can actually be distracted very easily by shiny things, and maybe even that blackbird pie. And then she sent along also a lemon prickles as well. So looking forward to that. Like I said, I really, other than starting the chatelaine and finishing up some of these WIPs, I really don't have plans per se. I like to stitch whatever I feel like stitching, whenever I feel like stitching it. So that's kind of a thing for me. All right, giveaways. Well, thank you all so much for being subscribers and commenting and liking. I really do appreciate it. I do have 2 giveaways, and again, I will ship anywhere. It's doesn't matter to me. And one of them is the Plum Street Samplers Bigfoot Bunch. If anybody's interested in this, just put Bigfoot in a comment down below. And then I have also from Plum Street Samplers the Corgi Caboodle. And let's see if you can be creative with the word caboodle. There we go. Again, thank you so much. It's been a year. I thank you for hanging in there with me, and appreciate all of your comments and your likes, and more than I can say. I really do appreciate you hanging in there with me. And hopefully it won't be so long till I see you the next time. Thank you.